Amidst all the chatter about the IPL transfers, which player is heading to which team, there was, of course, the India-Australia game in Thiruvananthapuram, the second T20 international in the 5-match series. While India won the match rather comprehensively by 44 runs, there are quite a few talking points as far as this young Indian T20 team is concerned. To start with, there are the notable absentees like Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli and Hardik Pandya. Quite a set of big shoes to fill. And then there's one eye on the T20 World Cup next year, where Team India is looking to bury the ghosts of their ICC tournament failures and hopefully get their hands on the trophy. So who are the ones to look out for when we speak about the future? At least the possible options to step into the 11. Young and explosive players who have really proved their mettle in the Indian Premier League. The likes of Yashasvi Jaiswal, Ishan Kishan, Ruturaj Gaikwad. In the bowling department, you have Arshdeep Singh, Ravi Bishnoi, Mukesh Chaudhary. And today we want to focus on one such player, a man who in a limited span of time has made a huge impact with his batting display and his general demeanour. A gun player who is set to take the world by storm. He became an overnight sensation earlier this year. It started with his IPL franchise and now he seems determined to repeat those heroics for the national side. Yes, I'm talking about the young Rinku Singh. Before we tell you about what this man has done and the potential he has shown, let me take you back to an Indian Premier League game earlier this year. The Kolkata Knight Riders were facing Gujarat Titans in Ahmedabad. KKR needed 28 runs off the last 5 balls, nearly impossible on most days. No, almost all days. The pressure is on Rinku too, who, just to remind you, hadn't really made a big splash in the IPL till then. So you can imagine the pressure and the intensity. But what does Rinku do next? He goes ahead and smashes the bowler Yash Dayal for 5 consecutive sixes. That's right, he hits 30 runs in 5 deliveries and saves KKR from the jaws of defeat. And it was following this game that cricket fans really stood up and took notice of Rinku Singh. So much so that at another game later in the tournament, KKR were in a similar situation at the Eden Gardens and Rinku was out there in the middle. A sold-out Eden Gardens were chanting Rinku's name, hoping that he'll bail them out once more from a highly improbable situation. How about that? Nearly 70,000 people chanting your name after your heroics in just a single match. And just like that, Rinku Singh emerged as one of the biggest finds of IPL 2023. With some clean and monstrous hitting, he scored 474 runs in 14 games at a strike rate of almost 150, the highest by any KKR batter that season. And it included 4 half-centuries. Truly an impact player for whom IPL became the stage he announced himself on.
My life changed after those 5 sixes. People knew me, but not that much. But after those 5 sixes, now a lot of people know.
And life changer it indeed has been, especially if you look at his humble beginnings. He comes from a very small, modest background, born in a small city in India's northern state of Uttar Pradesh. His father worked at an LPG distribution company, but nothing stopped young Rinku from chasing his dreams. The swashbuckling left-hander announced himself in the domestic circuit, playing for his home state of Uttar Pradesh, and eventually ended being picked up in the IPL auction, whose motto clearly is where talent meets opportunity. But let's look beyond the IPL and the reason why we're talking about him today. What makes Rinku Singh stand out? Firstly, the fact that he doesn't seem to be that one-game wonder, a player that will just score in one match and then go off completely off the radar. When you watch him bat and speak about his performance, the determination, you know he wants to be in the mix for the long haul. Soon after the IPL, he made his way in the Indian T20 setup. Played his debut match against Ireland. In just 4 T20 innings he has batted for India, he's made quite a mark, scoring 128 runs in the 59 balls he's faced so far. Now, I know these figures for India alone don't look that big. The sample size is quite small, but it's the impact that he has made, scoring those runs at a strike rate of nearly 220. Rinku Singh looks to be firmly in contention for that coveted finisher's role heading into the T20 World Cup next year. Take last night's match, for instance. Rinku Singh scored a blistering 31 off just 9 deliveries with 4 sixes, 4 fours and 2 sixes, helping India post a strong total after the top order laid the platform. Or even the first T20 international, where he scored 22 off just 14, finishing the game in style for India with a 6. And that's really the unique selling point or USP of Rinku Singh. The ability to take the game deep, hit sixes at will, put the pressure back on the bowling side, and do all of these with utmost ease, confidence, calmness, and of course, that swagger. Truly tailor-made as a finisher for the shortest format. Now, where have we heard or seen this before? A small town boy making it to the international stage, hitting huge sixes and finishing games for India. Regularly, that reminds you of MS Dhoni. Well, that's what some of his teammates think as well.
When I saw Rinku come in to bat in the last game, the composure he showed was brilliant. It reminded me of someone. Everyone knows the answer.
Now, one wouldn't want to jump the gun and make instant comparisons between Rinku Singh and, of course, the legend that is MS Dhoni, given how young Rinku is in his international career. But you cannot help but observe a few parallels there, especially given the inspiring figure that Dhoni has been for so many youngsters. Inspired almost an entire generation. Some who are keenly looking to emulate his lightning-quick keeping, and some, of course, his finishing prowess. Rinku himself has credited Dhoni for his calmness, saying he chatted with MS to pick his brains and understand what he does in the final overs. The advice was crystal clear from Dhoni. Stay calm and look to hit the ball straight. And you can see that in Rinku Singh's approach and his attitude. He has stood firm in his crease, not lost his shape or balance too much while smashing those big hits, and absolutely nails the cameo role that he's given as well to the team. So can Rinku Singh flourish in that finisher's role come the big games going forward, and that too consistently? One can safely say that we haven't quite seen the last of Rinku Singh's fireworks with the bat.